Hello and welcome back. Welcome back, I guess, to
That's
Game and
right.
Makeup. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Tucker, and with me, as always, is
Haley McLean.
that's you.
Hi, Michael Tucker.
I wasn't sure I could introduce you, or you want to drop it in yourself.
Drop it in.
This is a new Game and Makeup, Haley. There's new rules. There's new things.
And yeah, it's gonna be crazy flipping the switch.
And you might be watching this and being like, "Hey, where's the purple thumbnail with all the cool video game characters? What video game is this topic on?" Well, Game and Makeup, everybody. We've been away for, I don't know if you've noticed, 9 months.
It's a whole baby.
This is our baby, so it makes sense.
We had to
So we're
gestate.
birthing a new baby into the world.
Yeah.
So Game and Makeup is a
We
podcast.
need an ultrasound with like a picture of the
my
podcast.
But yeah, Game and Makeup, when we launched is it over 2 years ago now? Jeez. We have not made enough episodes
COVID.
COVID.
COVID seeks.
Yeah. So it was a long form, video podcast in which we discussed video games. One of us would bring a video game to the table. The other person, hopefully they would like it, but usually they disliked it, which led to a lot of funny conversations. But then
I liked most of the games you said.
there's that. And also, we couldn't get episodes out as quickly as we liked because somebody kept giving people games like Death Stranding and Dark Souls, which are really long.
Michael.
And then even when I gave you short games,
They were good.
Yeah, they were good, and we still had great discussions about them. I
Yeah.
love those episodes, and they're all still available for you to go watch. Please go check them out. We're still very proud of them.
I love this.
But even when I gave you a short game, like the one we're going to discuss today, Hotline Miami,
I beat it like a week.
yeah, and then we didn't record for 9 months.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the
but
baby.
the baby.
That makes it sound like we actually had a baby.
Well, we kind of did. We have our doggy Sable,
Sable.
who's down below us right now, and she's been great. But it's been a hectic kind of year, Haley, for you mostly career wise, and so what's just like what's been happening with you this year that we haven't really had time for Game and Makeup?
I passed the bar.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Applause all around. This is old news for many people,
Yeah,
I'm
this
sure,
is
but
old news.
it's still exciting for those who only pay
It's
attention
hard.
to this podcast. I've heard.
It was way up high. I couldn't quite
It's like a monkey bar type situation.
Yeah, it was
just do like one pull up and you're
I
like,
had
you're a
to do
lawyer.
you know what's funny is I have more of a chance of passing the bar again than doing like a solid one pull up. So, so like
Same.
we're in Canada, so in the province I'm in, the method of passing the bar it's not just a test. Not that that's not hard.
Sure.
But the way that you pass the bar in my province is like a year-long strenuous process with lots of assignments, and I only do business law right now. Like I'm practicing now, but I had to learn. I had to like understand criminal, family, tort, like every type of law to pass the bar. So it was a lot of work and like things that I'd finish work and then I'd have to do bar study and bar assignments till like you were there till like 11. It sucked, and then get up and go to work the next
So you're
day.
telling me through all these, whatever little problems, you had no time for video games?
Wow, Michael, that's a very great question. No, I did not really. I mean, I did play.
You
games,
did, and
so.
we did play lots of games this year, which we'll get into as well.
Yeah.
But to say, and on my note, I didn't do anything nearly as difficult as passing the bar this year, but it was a year of change for me. I changed jobs. I left my long-standing job, and not to get too into it, it was
Had
a
a
little
puppy.
mentally draining, and
Puppies take up a lot of time.
puppies also
too.
take a lot of time, and it was great. So I got to spend a lot of time with Sable in her formative months, which has been great. And she's a very good girl, and we love her very much.
She's getting to that age where she's easy now.
Right. So all that is to
Finally.
say, through all these things, we wanted to keep doing the show, but we felt that like, hey, I want you to play, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
I want you to. Play Red
Maybe
Dead
someday.
Redemption 2.
But it didn't feel like a good time to like, hey,
It was.
I
very
gotta play this game for a
time-consuming.
month and a half, and then we gotta sit down and try to because we can't do like a 6-hour episode on Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe somebody likes that. I wouldn't want to record it. That seems like hell.
Maybe I would want to
Okay, well maybe one day.
one day.
But I guess the short form is we feel like we didn't have time to commit to the show that we had done. But then I sort of started to think, well, we talk about lots of stuff in video games, not just like games you like, but gaming news. There's been lots of hot topics this year that me and Haley have been discussing in the news. acquisitions. It's been a very news-filled year.
Yeah.
We have great discussions about that. So I started to think, well, that could be part of the show.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk, exactly. We're gonna record our pillow talk for everybody to listen
don't say
to.
that.
cut that.
You're editing it, so.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just the short form is, I guess I've said this so many times now, we wanted to bring the show out quicker. We wanted the show to be covering more things. And for those of you who really love those long form analysis episodes, those are going to come back. Maybe
for games that we're really spunky about.
Yeah, like maybe a certain long running franchise, which you both really love, is a big open world game coming out this year that we might want to talk about. Don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That's coming
I might shed a few tears in anticipation.
Yeah, as I preside over my kingdom.
Mine made more sense. You're not a king.
So like those long episodes will come back for games we feel really passionate about. You know, if I finally do sit down and play Red Dead 2 this year or sometime, we'll fist pump and we'll finally talk about it. But yeah, and maybe
talk about that game.
We'll have some special guests on. That'd be really fun.
Be fun.
To have, as much as you guys love hearing us talk, you probably want to hear other people talk too. So that's why I noticed this episode's going to be called Episode 0, which is sort of a soft relaunch and reboot of Game Makeup. Reboots are very in this year. We're like the DC extended universe. We're cutting out everything. We're bringing back stuff people like.
Trim the fat.
Trim the fat. So you're fired.
Oh, yeah, right. You're fired too.
The show's not gonna. We're gonna cast 2 new people as the host.
Sick queens as the cast.
I wasn't talking literal trim the fat, you knob. This is what people have missed. They've missed this banter.
Yeah.
Well, to say, Game Makeup is gonna come at you. Hopefully, we're aiming for bi-weekly, bi-monthly. What's one every 2 weeks? Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly is once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks. We're aiming for bi-weekly.
Yeah.
So
bi-monthly is every 2 months.
I'll say shorter episodes, but covering more news, more games, fun chats. If Haley has some fun lawyer stuff she wants to share with you, she might play some games.
I practice video game law, so
you do.
I think about games,
which is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cover all of that. There's people out there, Haley, who really want to hear us finally talk about Hotline Miami. Do you finally want to talk about Hotline Miami?
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna pretend we're gonna go all the way back to April.
God, what was 9 months ago? March. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because 3 months from now would be 9 months ago.
Math checks out. I brought Hotline Miami to you because I love Hotline Miami. It's one of my favorite little indie games of all time.
Yeah.
And it's sort of become one of the great indie game giants, I think, of like the mid-aughts.
It was its 10-year anniversary last year. Was it not?
Is it 10 years old?
Yeah. I think it came out 2012.
Imagine we recorded last year when it would have been very timely.
Well, everyone was talking about it.
We really missed the zeitgeist on that one. I don't know. I was playing Elden Ring. I didn't have time to talk about Hotline Miami. But yeah, Hotline Miami is a top-down asymmetrical, is that the term you would use? Top-down shooting game in which you go through rooms. Isometric, thank you. I was going to asymmetrical. It's
asymmetrical is like Dead by Daylight or something.
Right, it's not Dead by Daylight.
Are you sure?
It could be.
Everything is.
But yeah, I love Hotline Miami. I'm excited for you to play because it's a great little, the game's like 2 hours long. It's very short.
I beat it in like 3 sit-downs.
Right, and and
bad.
It is challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but I feel like the more you play it, the better you get at it, like most things.
Yeah.
But I really want to bring it because I love exposing you to new genres of games that you don't really touch very much. I think it's probably one of the first sort of top-down isometric games you might have played. Similar to this, any?
Well, I can none come to mind, but I mean, I had a Game Boy.
Sure.
Up and stuff, and those were all isometric, technically.
How many violent games did you play on Game Boy where you murder rooms full of people?
Oh, I played Kirby and Yoshi's Island.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they're super violent.
You eat things and poop them out in an egg. That's kind of messed up.
Well, I'm finally going to give you just the floor, because I have a couple questions I want to bring to you about Hotline Miami, but before I do that, why don't you just finally tell the world your opinions on Hotline Miami. The floor is yours, please.
Well, I was told by lots of friends, play Hotline Miami, and it was one of those ones where I saw little glimpses of it, and I'm like, I don't know if it's for me, but as soon as you put 10 minutes into it,
satisfying.
Yummy. It's so satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
mm-hmm.
Well, the music's an absolute bop. Like, I want the vinyl. There must be a Hotline Miami
yeah.
vinyl.
Limited run or something.
You should look at it.
I am 8-bit, I'm sure has one.
It's probably been sold out for 10 years.
Yeah, they might have done a republishing for the anniversary.
Yeah, but it was great. It was so unique,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see why it also turned and spawned like Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Look at that collector's edition vinyl set. Anyways, I can see why it's spurred a lot of inspiration for other indie
Right.
game companies.
Sure.
Like, because when you peel back the onion, it's really just the basics of it are really simple, but it's very geniusly laid out. Like the levels are smart. It's clicking and shooting and walking around corners, but they are very smart at building the levels so that it's like extremely entertaining and the replayability is like crazy high.
Right.
Like the function of being able to start right away again when you die.
Oh, like the lack of
Just
punishment for death?
Spacebar
Yeah,
again.
go again.
Spacebar again.
Absolutely.
Like completely remove that. Like, you know, I like Dark Souls was fine, but the
run back.
cutscene.
Dying feels bad in
come
Dark
up.
Souls.
And that's
Yeah.
the point. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with this, it's like I died, and it's like whatever. Again, and like yeah, speedrunners would care, but like for me, I didn't care if I died. It was just fun.
Yeah.
And it's felt so good to like get to a point where you're just like bam bam boom, boom, like running through the levels, like everything. Like you feel like Batman.
I was gonna say.
I'm joking. It's the
No.
IGN interview that people make
Oh,
fun of.
is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like I really feel like Batman.
Oh, like you makes you really feel like The Last of Us Part 2. You
my
know,
God.
whatever that. Yeah. Sorry, I was like, oh, I guess Batman
like to
kind of
laugh.
goes
I'm
through
like,
rooms
I'm
of people.
joking.
I thought you were being very literal. That is very
No,
funny.
No.
Okay, all great
And
points.
I'm glad I played it last year because people were talking about it again.
Sure. Now, I almost would akin playing this game to being high.
I don't get high, so I don't know.
Nerd.
I panic at that.
but I guess sorry. Like maybe even for example, like a dopamine rush. Like
Yeah.
when you're on a really good run and like you blast a guy's head off, then you pick up a baseball bat, you throw it at that guy.
You're
The
like,
two more
"Oh."
guys come through a door, and then you shoot them,
Yeah.
and that music going.
Yeah.
It's this exhilarating rush, which is so exciting.
My hands were hurting because I was just like moving them around like crazy.
And it works so well because the whole idea of the game is that you are this nameless. I mean, he's called Jacket by the community because he wears a Letterman jacket. I don't know
That's
if you
cool.
knew that.
No.
With his iconic, and he's sort of like the rooster mask is the first one you have, and it's the most iconic look. And I mean, the plot of this game is you pick up a phone, a guy gives you a very vague message about food delivery or cleaning up termites, and you essentially just go to rooms full of mobsters, generic faceless mobsters, and just murder them without any sort of indication about why you're doing it, who you're doing it for.
You don't even know if this is the right people.
Well, that's the thing. And it's sort of this sort of killing mindlessly, which is one of my favorite things about Hotline Miami. I mean, it's sort of like, I don't know if the word trite is correct, but more commonplace that like ruminations on video game violence are more sophisticated now. Like we see it in the AAA space, like The Last of Us Part 2. Like
I mean,
you should
that's what
feel
everyone always compares. Yeah.
you should feel bad about killing these people. Whereas like Hotline Miami, when you're playing it, you don't feel bad. You feel great mashing dudes. Like you grab them, that animation where you shake them on the ground, but you're trying to do it so quickly because more guys are coming through the door and they're coming, but you need this guy's gun.
Yeah.
And they're almost like puzzles. Like when you start a level, he's like, I gotta kill this guy first because he has the shotgun and they're gonna come through that exact moment because the levels play out pretty much. There's some variations, like sometimes one guy will go randomly to the left when he's gone right the last 10 times.
Yeah.
But it's sort of
Is
that.
there a lot of RNG?
I don't think there's a
didn't
lot.
think
I
there
am
was that
certainly
much.
not like a speedrunner of this game, but
Yeah.
it's that feeling like the violence itself becomes a puzzle. But my favorite thing about Hotline Miami is those sort of quiet moments after you do like a perfect run and you kill everybody, the music just stops, like flatlines.
Yeah.
And you're sort of left to go walk back through the level you just
And you're
cleared
like, "Eee."
and view these sort of massive bodies you've created. And you're trying to think, why am I doing this? And it's, it's that sort of take on like video games like Uncharted. Nathan Drake kills hundreds of people. Ludonarrative distance. We've talked about this before with Bioshock and
Infinite.
stuff, right? So it's just like, yeah, you murder dozens of people, but like it's just a game. It doesn't really matter. But like when the game sort of takes you back for a moment and lets you reflect on the killing, it's like it's a very poignant moment. And coming from an indie game, I think this was developed by like 2 people.
It's crazy.
It's sort of this like juggernaut of indie games that like it was one of these games that showed that indie games could sort of stand in the AAA space while being very indie but still make really poignant points.
Yeah.
Poignant points. That's very difficult to say.
Poignant points.
But yeah, like so like the story, like what did you get from the story? Did you know what was going on? Just kind of roll with it.
I kind of roll with it.
That's fair. I think It's one of those. It's kind of like Dark Souls, where Dark Souls is like you kind of got to watch a YouTube video to understand what the hell was going on.
And I like games like that.
Absolutely.
But, with this, it was just like I just found it satisfying to play, and I think it's interesting to have a kind of catharsis with violence. Like you were saying, they turned killing into a puzzle.
Right.
And I feel like up to that point, games didn't really do that. Killing was like a means to complete a quest or a mission or whatever, but it wasn't like the way in which the game mechanics got solved.
Yep.
To the point, like, I mean, Max Payne, you kill people to get to the next room.
Yeah.
But it's not the way that you unlock the next room. They're just obstacles.
Sure.
I guess.
Yep.
And I thought that was interesting. And, like, just the music, dude.
Yeah, the music's so good.
It was just like, you were behind me. I had my headphones in. I was just sitting here playing
I listen to it on Spotify once a week. I truly do. It's great running music.
The gym.
Oh, yeah. It's
insane.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's all on YouTube and Spotify, I'm pretty sure. So
I played it on PC. Is that, like, it's on everything, right?
I played it on, I think I got it off PlayStation Plus on PS4. God, it's years ago.
Do you think you would have rather? I mean, on PC, I really felt a lot of like.
Well, I mean, everyone says you should play everything on PC, right? Which is fair. Yeah. But like, I find it. I mean, it's been years since I played it, but I found it fine on controller.
You got used to it.
Yeah.
Is the sensitivity quite high on controller?
Again, it's been years. I don't think I played it since like 2012, but so really did my research for this episode. But like I remember it being awesome. But I think it's a testament to that game that I played it so long ago. But it's very short.
Probably thought of it.
Probably do it in like 5 or 6 hours, but it really does weigh on you with its visual style as well. It's this almost Super Nintendo, even like more like Nintendo NES level style of graphics, pixel graphics. Yeah. That the violence, it's almost cartoony in its gratuity, but it's still so gratuitous.
It's like if Persona could have come out on the NES. That's what it looked like.
Persona did come out on the NES. Or sorry, Shin Megami Tensei did, not Persona.
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
It would look like that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's very stylized, very sleek.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. Other questions did I have for you? Like, do you remember? I mean, we're gonna spoil Hotline Miami here. Sorry for people who care about this now 10-year-old game, but do you remember the ending?
You go in the sewer and they're like controlling everything.
Yeah, it's this whole idea of like all of it was kind of a goof.
Yeah.
There was no point. Don't you feel stupid?
You're a weapon.
Yeah. And it's a sort of like, and again, it's a sort of meta comment. Me, I love my meta commentary.
Oh, Sable.
Don't say that into the microphone.
Sable farted.
Gross. Well, the reboot's off to a great start. But yeah, it's a sort of meta commentary I love about. It's like, I must be doing all this, and it's sort of the people who make these sort of like YouTube videos, like, what does it all mean? It's like, it doesn't mean anything. You just killed people. Like, haha, joke's on you. I'm like, that's kind of cool though, because it has all these moments of like, but like both sides of the coin can exist. It can be both a very, insightful rumination on violence and also like kind of a goof.
You can view it simplistically or more complicated, depending on how you want to look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just a great, fun game. I haven't played the sequel.
Yeah.
Do you have any drive to play the sequel maybe one day?
Is it as good as the first one?
Generally, I don't think it's viewed as well. It's a lot more.
It's just like more.
It's a lot more story heavy. It takes place before, during, and after the original. It's one of those like big. It's like bigger doesn't always mean better kind of things. But again, I haven't played 2. I'm sure it's fun. Yeah. But I have not played it.
That's fair.
I'm sure I could buy it for $3 and have a great time in a weekend or something. But yeah. Anything else about Hotline Miami?
I would wear the dog mask so I don't have to kill the doggies.
Oh yeah,
the horse mask was OP. What did it do?
I don't remember. I remember I used to use the mask that made you spawn with a knife because the knife was super strong for like clearing enemies early because it's a one shot.
I just remember wearing the horse mask a lot.
Don Juan
mask.
We're looking up the Don Juan ability. Does it have one?
It does.
Oh, here,
lethal doors.
Oh, yeah, so killing people with doors. Super strong.
I would kind of cheese a lot of levels where I would just go near a door and be like, and like bump it open. They'd be like, oh, and just kill them.
I guess it's like the replay value of this game. There's tons of masks to unlock. They all do different things. Some give you more guns. Some make your fist stronger. Some make enemies see you less closely, I believe.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, you can replay the levels as quickly as possible, try to get better scores.
Walk faster, run faster.
Yeah, because the whole time you're killing people, you have like a combo meter going, which we didn't really talk about. Like the combo meter, the quicker you kill, the faster you kill, the more your score goes up, and it's adding that dopamine rush of like, I'm doing awesome, I'm murdering people.
I never got higher than like a B.
Me either. I'm not good at this game. But again, I just really love that moment where you kill everybody in a level, and then you have that sort of time to reflect on, oh shit, I kind of maybe shouldn't have murdered everybody. Or should I have? I don't know. These guys seem like bad people.
It's violence in a game where you can't question the implementation of the violence. Like, yeah, Uncharted's a good example. Last of Us Part 2 is a great example. Like, those games are extremely violent. And this is as violent as Last of Us 2, but just in pixel form. Last of Us 2 feels more violent because it's high definition, amazingly animated violence. But, like, that game does, like, take me out a lot because I'm going to put this first. Spoilers for Last of Us Part 2 I'm about to drop in a second. I'm going to splice this before I say it. Are you ready? Skip ahead 15 seconds if you do not want to hear. Why does Ellie pause to kill one girl, Abby?
Wow, huge spoilers for Last of Us Part 2 you're dropping, by the way.
It's old.
It's not that old. Why do you spoil every game we talk about?
And I'll move that to the front.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Massive spoilers.
Well, why should she hesitate for one kill when she's just killed hundreds of people to get here? And they, not only that, they humanize the people that she kills because they have names.
You killed my dog.
One girl's playing Hotline Miami.
Oh yeah, that's true. What a connection. I forgot about that. On the Vita.
Yeah, she's having fun and just relaxing and playing a game, and Ellie murders her. It's like, that could have been me playing Hotline. Like, you know what I mean?
Hilarious. This is a complete tangent. Hilarious to think that, like, in the end of days, the PlayStation Vita, be like, that's the console we're keeping around.
Well, it can get, it's easy to carry.
I guess.
What are they going to bring there?
Switch
PS4?
Lite?
Switch Lite?
Play Danganronpa on Switch Lite?
PS Vita had a decent battery life. Switch?
Oh, PS Vita is an incredible console. So
Switch has not a good battery life.
But yeah, again, I think Hotline Miami, being the small indie made by two people, handles, like, commentaries on violence way better than The Last of Us Part 2. Like, way better.
It's a lot easier because it's so much smaller.
But, like, it also does it with no dialogue. Like, I got more out of Hotline Miami's, like, stance on violence than, like, Naughty Dog literally yelling at me from atop a water tower, being like, violence is bad, do you get it? Do you get it?
Violence begets
Ellie's
violence.
actually the villain? Do you get it?
And then when you play as Abby and
it's a massive spoiler. You're spoiling.
Well, you play as Abby in like the first 2 hours.
Yeah, it's still a spoiler. Oh my goodness. Oh god. I mean, nobody cares about that game.
No.
Oh boy, we are a mess. This is a bad relaunch. I'm having fun though. You having fun?
I just think that it's hard to compare them because one's a pixel
I don't think it's hard to compare them at all.
In terms of their breadth, it's a lot harder to compare.
Well, yeah, one's 40 hours and one's 6.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so there's way more space for it to get saturated. Whereas in Hotline Miami, it's like ping pong, like this perfect little capsule of violence and the commentary on violence.
That's a good thing, though, I think.
Yes.
So we agree.
Yeah.
Mike wins.
Don't write down.
Check
don't
mark.
Write down a point.
Mike wins.
There's no
and
points.
Is handsome. Sorry. Any final thoughts on Hotline Miami? It's a quick one. That's why we couldn't do an episode about it for 9 months. It's like we can't turn it into an episode
because it's only as long as our episodes have been.
And like also, there's tons of great videos about like the point of Hotline Miami if you want to check them out. Jacob Geller's got a great one. I know lots of great videos on Hotline Miami, but great game.
It was good.
Yeah,
I liked it. I'm glad I know it because I can see how it's flowed into other things.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you read an ancient text and you're like, oh, that's where all this other stuff come from.
And it really has to. It's like one of those juggernauts of like the late 2000s indies, like this, Bastion, Super Meat Boy, Braid, VVVVV, Fez.
What is a VVVV?
It's a puzzle game. It's great.
Oh,
super good.
I've never heard of it.
And Jacket's actually he's become sort of like this sort of cultural icon. He's a character.
He should be in Smash.
He's in Dead Cells, and he's also in Payday. It's a bank robbing game. He's in that.
Oh really? Oh, I know it with all the masks.
Yeah, with all the masks, exactly. He's a character, and that like Jacket he's become an icon of indie games. So very cool game. Haven't played the sequel. Maybe one day. That's Hotline Miami. There you go, Blake. There you go, everybody who wanted to hear us talk about Hotline Miami.
I bet he's listening. He's like, what?
Good game. Good game.
It's a good game.
But Haley, is it a game of the year?
No, because it came out 10 years ago.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
It's a little bonus because this is a short episode, obviously, because it's sort of a relaunch. We thought it'd be fun to do our quickly run over our games of the year because it's still early in 2023 as this recording. It's only like 4 days in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, I'll be full up front. I didn't play 10 games this year.
You must have.
I didn't. I haven't.
I feel like, you just played another one.
Yeah, that's not on my list though.
Is it not? Not good?
No, it's not that.
It's not good enough to get on your list of not even
that. I think that's a testament. Now, I'm also of the opinion, like, I feel like I'm in the minority on this, is that it doesn't have to have come out this year for it to be a game of the year. I think if it's the first time you play a game, it's just as valid. I understand that not everybody
that gets
feels
confusing.
Well, no, I think if
you set it up that way, yeah.
I think if someone played Ocarina of Time for the first time this year was like, that game rips, you'd be like, yeah, put it on your game of the year list.
But people, yeah, I get that.
Now, it's the same as being in like 2022. I totally get that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
It's just easier.
I'm gonna shout out a couple of games that I played for the first time this year that I really loved, but didn't come out
fun.
this year. So do you have a whole top 10, eh?
Yeah, I have it here to my left.
Okay, wow, that's a whole list of games.
Well, that's my tweet. I tweeted
right,
it.
You tweeted it. I only have like 3 I actually like have anything substantial to say about, and one dishonorable mention that I want to talk about. Dishonorable mention.
I don't even know what it might be.
Oh, well, you'll know. So why don't you just go ahead? Tell me.
Start with 1.
Yeah. No, start with the end.
Start with 10.
Yeah.
Well, you played this. This is one of your games. You probably don't even count it, but Evil Dead, the game, was my number 10.
Fun game. Would not break my top 10, though.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Me too.
And I don't know that much about Evil Dead. Like,
no, and I'm a huge Evil Dead fan.
I'm not. Like, I know Ash is in Dead by Daylight. That's about it. I've never watched an Evil Dead movie.
You would hate them.
I would hate them?
No, they're gross zombie movies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of zombies.
No. We remember.
Yeah, it's
Resident Evil 4 video. Check it out.
I think we said that every episode.
It's a recurring theme.
But like that game, I don't know when it piqued my it came out really early, but it piqued my interest and I was like,
Because you play Dead by Daylight and it's another asymmetrical multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're not familiar with Evil Dead the game, there's one person who plays as the killer and there's 3 different killers. Might be more now. I honestly haven't checked in with it.
No.
But there's 3 different killers and it's not just a killer, they also have like scouts essentially.
Well, they're demons.
Yeah, they have like level 1 baddies that fight for them and then like level 2 and level 3 and then they can come out and fight too and you get enough like points. You have to scare and then there's 4 survivors. And 4 of them can all be Ash, I'm pretty sure too.
Yep, there's 4 different Ashes in the game.
Ash. And they essentially are traversing this map to try to get 2 items, and then once they get those items, they can go and do the Necronomicon.
Yep.
And when they figure out the Necronomicon, they win, but if the killer stops them before they do that, they win. And it's just like, I just think there's so much space for creativity in that type of game that hasn't been explored.
Sure.
Like, I think Dead by Daylight's an amazingly unique game that not many people talk. It came out in 2016, so it is old. But like,
and blows.
It's so good. Shut up. I love it. I play it every day.
I'm kidding.
There's so much strategy to that. It's essentially hide and seek with tag mixed in. But there's like so much strategy that goes into that game that once you start dipping your toe in it, like I watch Dead by Daylight videos in bed like every night.
Yeah, it's really troubling.
I love it.
I know.
Because there's all this
you have deep problems.
So like there's a huge perk system and bringing certain perks does certain things. Killers have certain abilities.
Okay, this is Dead by Daylight though. We're talking about Evil Dead right now.
But I loved Dead by Daylight. So when I saw a like-minded game, I was like, okay, I'm interested. And I put in my like 30 to 40 hours with it and I kind of hopped
40
off
hours in that game?
About that.
I mean, yeah, I guess just like I played the game because we played a lot with my brother, who's another massive Evil Dead fan. And yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought the game ran like hot garbage most of the time.
I was on PC, so it wasn't too bad for me.
Yeah, it was not. I don't think it's still not very good.
I think it was only PC that was kind of okay.
Yeah, it wasn't great on Xbox where I played it, but it's very fun. I like that you can fight back as a survivor, which Dead by Daylight you can't. Like you have like axes and some characters are more tankier, some characters are supports. So I thought it was cool that way. Haven't checked in with it in a while. There's a new Evil Dead movie coming out next year. I'm
still on the Reddit for it.
Oh, really?
It's
terrible subreddit, man.
It's a horrible
subreddit. It's so horrible. Are people still mad there?
Well, no, it's better. It used to be really bad.
It used to be like, there was like 20,000 subs and they were all miserable.
They were all like, they hated the
game. This game sucks. I put 1,000 hours into it.
Yeah, that's essentially Dead by Daylight too, though.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that you're going to play Dragon Ball The Breakers.
Creator showed me that. And I was like, oh, what is this?
It's Dead by Daylight with Dragon Ball
Yeah.
characters.
I think that's an untapped market that slowly games. There's also that teenage one. It's called
Friday 13th.
Well, there's Friday the 13th, but there's another one that came out this year called like Videotape something. I can't remember what it's called. And then there was another one
There's
too
also
that came
like
out this year.
Resident Evil Reverse was kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
There was like you could become the demon if you died or monster if you died.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty tapped, Haley. Seems like a pretty tapped multiplayer.
Sorry, there's 8 million platformers. That can't be
Yeah, and they're all better than fucking Dead by Daylight.
you're
I'm
a
just
bastard.
kidding. No, it's Dead by Daylight's your actual game of the year.
It's my
all
game of my
yours.
life.
That's so sad.
I love it.
Number 9, Haley, what do you got?
A little to the left.
What is?
What is?
Me? The camera? Am I not in?
Is it? Are you joking?
Yes, obvious.
Oh, sorry.
It's a good bit.
That
Come
was
on.
good until I didn't.
Oh
catch
my
on.
lord, we haven't done this in a while. We're
I
not in
know.
sync
I was
podcast
like,
wise.
whoa, are you okay? Yo, bro, are you all right?
But yeah, this game's awesome. Tell me about it.
Well,
So cool.
I can say that it's one of my clients' games.
Ooh,
Actually,
look at you being
because-
upfront and about your opinions.
Well,
Good games journalism there, Haley.
This isn't journalism.
It kind of is. We're games journalists, are we not?
Not anymore, baby. I did that for a while. Yeah, so my clients, Max Inferno, they're an awesome studio and they're local to where we live.
Very cool.
And they are awesome, and it's a 2-person group. They put a ton of love into it. It's kind of, if you like unpacking, you'd really like it. I think is a good comparison. Which people blew up about unpacking, not this year but last year.
Yeah, great game.
Just relaxing zen puzzles that are centered around like tidying up or like organizing or restructuring or cleaning. And what's cool is there's more than one way to do a lot of the puzzles. Some of them there's only one way, but for some of them there's like 2 or 3 or 4.
Cool.
So there might be a stack of books. You could stack them up by size. You could stack them by color. You could stack them so the spines make a pretty pattern. There's like a bunch of different ways to do things. And I just think they did a really good job. And the audio is awesome. Like the sounds, I don't know how to say it, but they're very crunchy in my ears. Like they feel good and they tickle my brain.
Very nice, very nice.
And I was looking forward to it all year, even before I started being able to actually meet them and work with them. So that was really exciting that I got to work with them.
You got to meet your heroes, and they were cool.
They said never meet your heroes, but I did. It was fine. But I just really liked it. And they do little daily tidies so you can log on, and there's like a little...
Is there a battle pass?
There's no pass.
Is there a battle? You got your dailies for the battle pass?
No.
The little to the left battle pass?
And they have a cute thing where like a cat is always messing up your cleaning, so you'll arrange the pencils and a cat hand will knock them and you're like, oh, you have to like fix it again.
Does the cat hook you? How many hooks does the cat
3
have on
hooks
you?
with the cat and you're dead. But I really recommend it. It's on Switch too. I played it on PC, but
Yeah.
it's very cute. Art style's cute, very relaxing, nice little puzzler.
Yep.
My sister doesn't play a lot of games and she loved it.
Yeah, I haven't played this. I watched you play it, obviously. It looks awesome. Very cute. I've sort of like, there's more and more room and space for these sort of like quieter, smaller experiences, I think. It's great, especially for like...
Where there's care pumped into it.
Yeah.
Like those kind of games where you can tell they just spent a lot of time making it very sweet and very satisfying to play.
Definitely. All right, why don't you give me your number 8, and then after you do number 8, I'll do a shout out to a game.
Okay, well,
Because you have way more than me.
I've moved my current number 8 since I've tweeted. I've moved up, so I'm gonna say my number 8 now is Splatoon 3.
Splatoon?
I love Splatoon 3.
Are you a squid now?
I low-key loved the story mode, which I've
heard
expect.
that it's great.
It was really good.
I've heard nothing but great things about it. I've never played Splatoon.
I watched so many Dead by Daylight videos while I played that.
This game's so good. I'm watching another game while
I
I'm
like
playing.
100%ed the story mode.
Yeah?
Like I didn't just like do the story. I like opened every path and like did everything.
Yeah, I've heard it's great.
And,
What's up? What happened there? You just went off?
Our dog farted again.
Oh god, don't say that. Oh wow, it's really bad.
It's
It's really bad. That's what Sales thinks about Splatoon 3. More like Splatoot 3, am I right?
That's my humor. But it was good. Like the multiplayer's fun, don't get me wrong.
Are you still playing the multiplayer at all?
Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
plomp it on when I'm laying down.
Yeah.
But people are good. Children are good at games now.
Well, both only people who play Splatoon are like 10-year-olds and 40-year-old men who have way too much time
And
on their
me.
hands. And you.
Yeah, I'm
Right in the
there.
middle.
Right in the middle between children and 40-year-old
Children of Men. It's a great movie.
Excuse me.
Splatoon 3. Okay, and yeah, so just like this, I've heard the story's great. I want to check it out.
A lot more weapons.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like is their thing where you can only play 2 of the levels, and then it switches every like 2 hours. Just have a bunch of levels in rotation. What's the deal with that?
And do you find, like, I know Nintendo Online is generally pretty...
It was fine.
It's good?
Yeah.
See, which is a frustrating, because clearly if they want to put the effort in, it can be alright, but they don't care. That's awesome, though. Splatoon 3. Great game.
What about you?
I want to give this, again, I only played, like, 3 games that actually came out this year that I feel like are worth, like, I have anything to say about. So I'm going to give a shout-out to a game that came out last year, but I played this year, and it really got me through a tough spot, and that's going to be Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh.
Which is, Monster Hunter... I tried playing Monster Hunter World when it came out. Actually, Haley made me buy Monster Hunter World, because she's like, look at this game. It's so cool. You get to hunt giant monsters. I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty sick. And then I played for like 6 hours, and you played for like 2.
No, I played more. We played with Nick some.
Yeah, it's not good. And not saying Monster Hunter World is a bad game. It's not.
Do you want me to pay you back?
What? What's that?
Do you want the 80 bones I made you?
No, it's fine.
On it?
They're only but like it just wasn't for me. The grind of it didn't appeal to me at the time.
Yeah. That's what I really didn't like.
So they launched Monster Hunter Rise for Switch, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like a great game for the Switch. It looks so good." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't like Monster Hunter." Then my brother said, "Hey, you should check it out. It's really fun. It'd be fun to play together." And this, again, I was currently unemployed at the time and a little bit depressed. So I was like,
vibing.
So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I probably put 60 hours in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were vibing.
Which was great. And the game, it sort of alleviated all of my issues with Monster Hunter World, which is that like it's so much quicker. There's not as much time spent trying to hunt the actual monster, which I'm sure, like, I guess long-term fans of the series will say that's like it's more casualized, which is probably fair.
Yeah.
But I love just hopping in, getting on my dog, who I made look like our dog Sable.
It looks so much like
It's
her.
super cute.
Yeah.
And you ride into battle, and you find a monster in like 2 minutes, and you kill him in like 8, and you just do it again. It's so much quicker.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's built for the Switch. It's built for portability, so that's the whole idea of it. But it's a great game. I sort of haven't played in a bit because like other games have come out. But I really love it. I didn't get Sunbreak, but it's actually coming to Xbox Game Pass in like 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I might pick it up then again there. I know some people want to play it. Play Monster Hunter Rise. It's a great game. Again, didn't come out. Sunbreak came out this year, the massive DLC expansion, which I've heard is great. Haven't played it, but yeah, love Monster Hunter Rise. Great game.
Is Rise, remind me, the one that came out in Japan like a long time ago?
I think it came out a couple months before.
Oh, there's one that came out like 5 years ago, and it only just came here. If memory suffices, I can't remember who was talking about that. Ah, well.
Yeah.
I thought you would know.
I don't. I'm not that much of a nerd, but I'm excited for the next one. And there's actually there's a cool. It's called Wild Hearts. It's made by EA. It's their sort of Monster Hunter clone they're making next year. That looks kind of cool. I'm gonna check it out. But we might talk about our most anticipated games of next year on a different episode. So we'll hold off on that. Look forward to that conversation. But Haley, number 7.
Number 7 is Pokemon Violet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
go on.
It's hot garbage.
Number 7. It sucks.
It is absolutely atrocious how poor this game looks, and it's from the most best-selling franchise of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if Avatar 2 came out and it was the Yoda puppet soaking wet and he had paint on his face and they just said, it's Jake Sully, just pretend.
We didn't have enough time.
You had a decade.
It's like you had all the time.
We said take your time.
Yeah.
It's gotten to a point now where Pokemon Company, it's like, they're like, we think we need more time, and we're like, go away for 4 years. Yeah. Like, we don't want you yet. Like, make your good game. Mm-hmm. Take the time, whatever. But goddamn, that game's so fun. Like,
yeah, I didn't think yours
only it would looked better.
So high, because this is my dishonorable mention.
Oops.
Because no, it's good. It's good. It's a great segue.
Yeah.
Because I, in good conscience, could not put, because we got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with a double pack.
Yeah.
And
as we do.
I was very hard on this game. Like, the footage came out and I said, that shit looks terrible. I'm not playing it, man. Game Freak needs to get their shit together.
We're in the Discord like, I will never buy
I'll
this.
never play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And Haley's like, I'll buy it. I'm like, okay. So I didn't want to pay for it.
It alleviates any moral
crimes. Yeah, exactly. So I did. And yeah, I'm the same thing as you. It is shameful and ridiculous how poor this game runs. Yeah. Like, running at 2 frames per second. Someone's 10 feet away from you,
Yeah.
looking like a goddamn claymation.
Like,
it's absolutely unacceptable and not right. And I don't know if Nintendo's to blame or Game Freak's to blame
Nintendo's not really
or the
involved.
Pokemon company's to blame.
It's
God damn, that game's good though.
It's Game Freak.
Yeah, but like I know, and like obviously they have deadlines to meet, and they got to make animes, they got to make toys, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, but it's the best-selling Pokemon, right?
It's the most. Oh yeah, they always
like
are.
it doesn't matter.
But
like,
it's the most fun I've had with the Pokemon game since Black and White.
Yeah,
which is like almost 15 years ago.
Because Pokemon in concept is always going to be fun.
Yeah.
You just have to twist it a bit. Like, I think they did do a lot of twisting to this one that I've been waiting like decades for. Like, you don't have to fight the people just because they see you. Take that out. That's lame. Boxes, you can get to them anytime.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Like, that kind of quality of life stuff is kind of like a no-brainer at this point, and they just implemented it, and that alone lets you go, oh, and feel like you have a breath of fresh air with Pokemon. I know Arceus did a lot of changes.
Well, yeah,
too.
and I mean Arceus, I fell off. You like beat Arceus, right?
Yeah.
Arceus, whatever the hell.
I say Arceus.
And like I liked that game, but like I didn't like how every game was like, all right, go catch 30 Starly.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
You're doing
not
it anyways.
But like I like catching one Pokemon one time, and then like I have that Pokemon, right? And it's a different thing. Like Arceus was going for, and I liked a lot of things about it. Cool vibe, cool lore.
The sound design was really good.
Yeah, Hisuian forms, awesome. But like I fell off like 20 hours, and it's like I don't want to catch 30 more goobers out in the goober swamp.
I didn't finish the Pokedex, but
no, but like Arceus was a great game, and Scarlet and Violet took a lot from Arceus that I liked.
Yeah,
I really hope. Like, we'll probably get another Pokemon next year of some kind.
I don't want one.
I know. Nobody does, but they're going to do it.
Everyone
you know,
does.
I'm sure there's lots of people who, like, these technical issues don't bother them, and that's fine.
It's more of a place of, like, consumerism.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds so lame, but, like, when we kind of reward... Because these games are getting more expensive every year, too. Like, this was $90 per game for us in Canada, plus tax, which is 15%. So... dropped like $200-something on these two games. That's a lot of money, especially considering like food and cost of living stuff is going up like nuts. We're privileged that we can buy those kind of things and we don't get affected too badly. But for some people, this might be the game they play all year on their Switch because it's like a huge purchase.
Yeah.
And then it's just like it consistently outsells and outperforms every time. So like there's no incentive to make it better. And I'm not saying don't buy it because of shitty frame rates. Like,
yeah, don't be a hypocrite like me.
like Michael played it, he liked it.
Oh, I loved it.
You know, like
shit game
whatever.
though.
It's just like late stage capitalism woes. Like,
whoa, you're getting a little political here, but
you know what I mean. No, like,
a little political. This is a video game podcast. There's no politics in video games.
There used to be a point where you buy one game a year back in the day.
Yeah,
and now it's like. For a lot of people, it's kind of getting to that point again, and it kind of sucks that they can still outsell and outperform every year, and the quality's dipping.
Yeah,
like that just kind of bums me out from a general point.
Can I ask you a quick question? We'll move on.
Yeah.
Why was this game deemed okay, but Cyberpunk 2077 was taken from storefronts and ostracized and beat to the dust?
Because it's Pokemon.
Do you think Pokemon gets a free pass?
I think Pokemon has completely infiltrated the zeitgeist forever because it's Pokemon. It's like getting mad at a baby versus like an adult. It's like, that's baby Pikachu. I can't stay mad at him.
Scarlet about her in a crib and you're screaming at it.
Meanwhile, like Johnny Hands, who the hell is that? I don't give a crap. It was a new IP. This is a well-established IP we've loved since we were 5 years old.
But I think for me that puts more. It should be good then. Yes,
I agree.
So
Cyberpunk's put a ton of effort in fixing that game.
Yes, and that's the thing.
And no one cares.
And yeah, people seem to like that game now. I actually kind of want to play it. I've heard it's at a much better spot.
Yeah, I've heard people say that game looks great now. Runs great. But like it's already passed because it was. I don't really see anyone actually following through to check in on it. I mean, I don't have an incentive to.
No.
I saw a ton of people play that and return their copy.
Yeah. I might check it out this year just because it's better. But I guess the last thing I'll say about it, I think it's ridiculous that, how do I want to phrase this? Let's turn into a big rant about Pokemon, which we probably should say for another episode. But but I think it's unacceptable. As this is someone who bought the game.
It's like we're Pokemon's parents.
Yeah. It's like, it's honestly that I'm not mad. I'm
disappointed.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm gonna buy it.
Now, these games are the lowest rated Pokemon games on Metacritic ever.
Are they?
They are 74, 76.
Still amazing.
Good for my fantasy critic score. Thanks, Game Freak. That was going to be a slam dunk. Not.
Yeah.
Because, like, Sword and Shield got 80s, and they're better than Sword and Shield. Anyway.
I really like Sword and Shield, too.
They're fine. But it's just, like, I hope that this is somewhat of a wake-up call for the Pokemon Company. Or maybe Nintendo, who, like... I understand they own some shares in Pokemon. It's on their console. They might go, hey, Pokemon Company Game Freak, why don't you just borrow the Xenoblade Chronicles devs for a couple months? They'll teach you how to make an open world that's not shit. And everybody wins.
Like, isn't it crazy that Zelda Breath of the Wild could have been like that, but because they put way more care into it, it became the best open world game of all time?
I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned. Well, I have a real concern that Tears of the Kingdom might be a little hardware not great.
No, I bet it'll be fine.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll save it for a deep dive on that.
I think it'll be fine.
That's enough about Pokemon. What's your next game, Haley?
My next game is, and I know you're gonna laugh at me, it's Horizon Forbidden.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing that you thought I was gonna laugh at that, which I did.
Well, you kind of made fun of me for platinuming it.
I don't think. Here's my thing.
You did the Fortnite L and dance and said, "Nice platinum, loser."
No, I didn't. That never happened.
It happened.
Here's my thing with Horizon. I'll let you talk about it because it's one of your games here. I've tried to play the first one like 4 times.
Yeah.
I get like 2 hours in. I get past
I love it.
The mountain trial where it's like, now here's the open world. I'm like, fuck this game. It just doesn't click with me at all.
Yeah.
I don't think the characters are interesting. Robot dinosaurs are cool, but it's just not for me. Anyway, glad you like it. Tell me about it. Why was Forbidden? I feel like Forbidden West kind of got forgotten because Elden Ring came out like a week after it.
Everyone
Nobody
always
cared
says
anymore.
that. It got Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah.
That's always everyone's favorite joke.
Well, it's true.
I mean, yeah, but like they can't help it. That's just when it came out.
They could release their game at a different time.
Not when they're AAA as well at this point.
Of course.
So like, it's not that easy to. Imagine how bad it would look if they saw Elden Ring come out and they go, we're just gonna move. Like everyone would be like, what?
Lots of games did.
I guess, but yeah, I guess.
Anyway, go on.
I think the story was not good at all. It was a really bad story. I was bored. Cutscenes are boring. The voice acting's fine. I think who plays Aloy? She's also
Ashley
Chloe.
Birch.
Ashley Birch is good. She has 2 characters in this one actually, because it's not really a spoiler.
Sure you spoil a lot of games.
Skip ahead 10 seconds for spoilers, but Aloy has a clone in this one, so it's just Ashley Birch again.
That's like a massive spoiler if it was me.
Yeah, but
anyway,
I mean, spoilers for the first Horizon. Skip ahead again. Aloy's a clone herself. That's the whole point.
Spoiling
because they're. Good.
It's supposed to be a Game of the Year discussion, not a spoiler cast. Anyway, sorry, go on. Sephiroth kills Aerith, everybody.
No one's playing them anyways.
Nobody's playing them. That's
just
true.
me. I mean, I like this game because it's super rad to fight robo dinosaurs.
Hell yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, it is.
And they have the weapon systems in this are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The weapon wheel that you use to switch between weapons and the way you implement like coils into your clothes to help with certain things. I decked out Aloy like a god. Like the T-Rex equivalent in this game. When you first fight them, you're so scared. At the end, I was like running up to their feet, going ting ting ting, and dead like in 25 seconds. And you fly up to your pterodactyl thing, and you zoom away, and you feel awesome. Nice. It feels so good. It's some of the best gameplay in games ever.
Sure.
But because of the very like, Aloy, hello, oh no,
like generic robotic, open world NPCs.
I mean, the graphics look great. The people look good. They move like robots, and they do not talk like humans.
Which is so funny to me, because this is on the Decima engine, which is the same engine as Death Stranding.
Yeah. And
everyone in Death Stranding, at least in cutscenes, like they're...
You can see the resemblance, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because Death Stranding kind of spends more time in story, whereas Horizon just uses the story to get to gameplay elements, I think is the difference there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I found it really satisfying to get the trophy. It was a very good platinum. Like there's
many first party platinums generally are.
There's very few games that the platinum is as fun as just like being the story naturally. Like it was fun to get the platinum. Like you get the best weapons, you do all the best side quests to get the platinum.
So platinum should be.
Yeah, it's not like pick up 1,000 acorns. Although there is a little bit of that, but you know, the Red Dead one is insanely
right.
tedious. And those are my only 2 platinums this year. Was Red Dead 2 and this.
Red Dead 2 took you 4 years
Yes.
to get, so.
Oh, it's my favorite thing I've ever done.
Touch grass.
No.
Cowpoke.
Go touch some grass out in the field. But
Okay.
if you want to give it a shot, I'd say like it's super fun once you are out of cutscenes.
DLC's coming out this year too. You gonna play that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Did you play the Frozen Wilds? No,
No, I didn't.
No.
I should have though. And I also like the one story element I like about this game is it's completely matriarchal. Like all the power comes from women characters, which you don't see, and it's not in like, you know how it can kind of be in an eye rolly way, like they're like, that sounds so bad to say, but I'm a woman, so I know when things are like a man is writing a woman in here for brownie points.
Sure.
Like I know what that feels like.
Sure.
So I'm not saying when a woman is a character I roll my eyes. That's not what I'm saying. When a man who wrote a woman character who doesn't know why they're putting them in the story for specific beats, I can sense that. And I'm like, ugh, it just doesn't feel good. But like you
Haley
can tell,
McLean, known misogynist, ladies and gentlemen.
you can tell there's a lot of women who write for this team.
Right.
Like it comes through.
Yeah.
And you know the gods are women in Aloy's matriarchal society. Aloy is the baddest bitch in this game, and no one questions her because of her gender ever. Like it's never like a, oh, little lady. It's like they're just like, oh shit, it's Aloy. Like everyone just respects her.
Right.
Leaders of troops and like combat battalions and shit are the main villains are women. Like, and people who tag along with you who are kind of like normally in games like, what's the tag along from Resident Evil 4? You know, like
Ashley.
Like all the Ashleys are men in this game. You know, like kind of helpless. Like they need Aloy in order to get somewhere. They ask Aloy for help. Like they're all men. So it flips up those gender norms a lot in a really refreshing way, which I really liked too. Nice. And so did the first one. But it kept that up. Like, and even in the old times, like before the world got destroyed and the robots took over, like women were like the leading characters in those time periods too, which I just think is cool. And not many games do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. You gonna play the remake of 1?
There's a remake?
Did you hear about this?
No.
They're remaking 1.
Why?
Because Sony's
It looks good.
So did Last of Us Part 1, but here we are.
But that came out in like 2015 or 16.
Yeah, I know.
That's not long ago.
Yeah, Sony's on some weird shit. Cool though. Sounds good. I'm never gonna play it, but cool if you liked it, man. Horizon Forbidden West.
I liked it a lot.
I'm gonna give another shout out to a game that didn't come out this year, but I played this year that I really love. Persona 5 Royal.
I love that game.
Yeah. So I have tried now 3 times to complete Persona 5. I played vanilla.
You start from the start every time?
Oh yeah, because I'm a masochist.
Why do you hate yourself?
I don't get. That's a whole other podcast. But I started like vanilla Persona 5 back in the day, 2016, 2018, whenever it came out. And I got to the final dungeon, but I had to quit because I had no healing items and there was no way to heal. And my closest save where I could go back and prepare myself was about 20 hours ago.
Ugh.
So I said, fuck that. I'm not playing that game again.
Yeah.
Put it down. Then Royal came out in 2020.
What a nice way to go back into it.
Yes, but you can't transfer your saves over or anything. You have to start again. It's a whole bunch of new content. And it was great. And I got to like the second palace and I kind of dropped off because I just started playing other things. But this year I was like, you know what? I'm beating Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
And I still haven't done it yet, but I'm very, very close.
Yeah.
And playing it now this year for the 3rd time, it's really just shown it is truly one of the greatest RPGs ever made.
It's so good.
Full stop. It's
so
incredible. Good. I understand if people don't vibe with the school simulator part of the game.
I love that part.
And I don't love it maybe for the same reasons that like a lot of people do, where it's like, I like talking to cute anime girls. It's like, that's part of it. But I like it more because like it replaces grinding.
Yeah.
And you can grind in Persona 5. You can go to,
and you have been grinding.
I have, because I'm insane. But like, instead of like going and killing monsters for 10 hours, it's like, hey, go play pool with your friends, and that increases your stats.
Go to the spa.
Go to the spa. Go have coffee with your adopted father, or adoptive father. And it's just, it's great. And the actual gameplay stuff, it's so stylized. I mean, you don't even hear me talk Persona 5 Royal. Everyone knows how good it is.
Yeah.
But like, I really do think it's actually on Game Pass now, so it's a great time to jump in and try it.
What a no-brainer game to play on Game Pass.
And also it's on Switch, so like get comfy in bed.
Game.
Yeah, it'd be great. Awesome game, super good. I'm at the third semester now, so probably like 10, 15 more hours to go. Really excited. I'm gonna platinum it. It's a really great game.
You're gonna platinum. I tried to platinum.
Well,
Persona
platining
5,
Persona
and I could
5, the
not.
original, is really, really difficult and tedious. The Royal Plat is much easier.
Oh, see.
Like the
I
original.
got like 60% of them.
Yeah, then you gotta find every persona in the game.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was the one
fuck
that I literally had a little journal with notes.
Yeah, like
trying to do that.
Royal takes all the tedium away from vanilla, and this makes it more streamlined, more fun, quicker.
Yeah.
And obviously, like playing this game, I probably take you like 120 hours, but because I played before, I'm at like 80 because I know what I'm doing and I'm sort of min
I
maxing.
think I ended at like 110 hours.
It's a long game, but it's a great game, great characters, amazing soundtrack. I listen to it all the time.
Right
We do
here.
the vinyl; it's so good. I listen to that soundtrack all the time, and I'm really excited. Persona 3 and 4 are coming to Game Pass and Switch. And
Do you
like
think I'd like any of those?
maybe 4, probably not 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if like I would like 3.
Oh.
It's a PS2 game. It's very janky.
It's hard to go
You
back
can't
sometimes.
control your party members.
Oh.
You can only control you.
So they just do random
They
shit.
do random things.
Oh.
But some people say that that's the best one. I'm probably gonna play 4. Persona 4 is really, really good. I've played it before on Vita. It's really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my. What's your next game? That was just a shout out. We're gonna get to my actual games of the year here. Maybe my next one. I think I might have 5, but we'll see.
Well, why don't you do? You've done some.
Well, these are shout outs to games that didn't come out this year,
Oh, gotcha.
but they're just games I really liked this year.
My fourth game that actually came out this year.
Yeah, you played more games than
2022.
me, lawyer. Go ahead.
Lawyered. Was Stray.
Mimi Cat game?
I loved Cat Game. It was good.
It's interesting to hear you say that because I feel like people were like, yeah, Stray. They got nominated at the Game Awards for Game of the Year. I'm
Yeah.
like, do people like Stray?
I love Stray.
Good. All right. Tell me about why you love Stray. Because I feel
Oh.
like a lot of people sort of like, yeah, Stray was cool, and then not talking about it anymore.
It's AAA graphics towards a very.
AAA graphics.
I said that really weird.
That's like a thing. It's like
really-
it's like a thing on the back of the box. It's like play as a cat with AAA graphics.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry. Go on.
Fit out of box.
Yeah.
It's just Cat Game, but it's like really polished.
Uh-huh.
Ben Hansen of MinMax always has this phrase he says when a game feels really solid and grounded and like good from the core, and it's called it's like he always talked about it when he talks about Inside. He's like, oh, it's like it's made of clay.
Yeah.
And this game also has that kind of feeling. Like there's no glitchiness to be found. Everything's solid. When you bump up against something, it moves in the exact way you think it should.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a lot of time spent in the physics engine, I think, to make it just feel really good. And people who love cats made this game because there's so much silly shit. Like when a bucket gets stuck on your head, it's not just like a little cut. It acts like a cat with a bucket on its head. It freaks the hell out.
Sure,
runs
sure.
around. The setting's cool. The puzzles are challenging but not hard. Like it's just enough to get you through, and you're like, it's entertaining, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The story, quote unquote, is really just trying to get out of a city, but they add like characters and elements to it that make it entertaining. You have a little buddy with you the whole time who's like talking to you and explaining things.
Nice.
When the cat puts his vest on and just falls over.
I've heard that's a moment that people have talked. I've heard about
It's
that.
so because like, have you ever put clothes on a cat?
No.
Like they just go, and
They
they
can't
just
handle it.
tree over. Yeah, like they just fall over.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's just really polished. It was really good. Sable loved it.
She loves cats.
Sable loves kitties, and Sable would sit on the couch and watch like me play that whole game pretty
Right.
much. I think the platinum's not too hard to get either. I just didn't have time to
It's
get
like
it.
a speed run trophy, as you might be kind of.
There's one part where you have to run. It's like the first time they introduced the little bugs that jump on you and try to attack you. That's like why humanity's gone. Is these little bugs ate every mammal? Assumedly, is kind of what
You guys
they
have
imply.
spoiling games on this podcast.
It's literally in the
I'm
first
just kidding.
hour.
I'm just kidding.
They literally show up in the intro essentially.
Mhm.
And you have to run through this long alleyway and they're trying to jump at you.
Mhm.
And I've heard it's a really hard trophy because you have to not get touched by a single one, but the game's trying to teach you what they do when they touch you.
Right.
So like you have to have like almost frame perfect running to get
And
through.
do you only get one shot at getting this
You
trophy?
can do like a save file thing
Ah.
where you as soon as you realize you messed up, you have to turn off and
Right.
turn it back on.
I
Otherwise
see, I
it'll
see.
save once you fail at the end.
Yep.
So that can be annoying, but you can do that thing where you go off the cloud and have a separate save. I did that with the quarry when I was trying to get trophies.
Ah, yes, the quarry.
Yeah. Might talk about the quarry.
Soon.
And yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. It got nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, I feel like that was like their token sort of indie pick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like there's maybe a better, if you're at like the indie representation,
What would you have picked?
like Cult of the Lamb? Isn't that your game of the year? Why are you sighing?
Don't spoil
Don't spoil, she says.
my list. Well, Cult of the Lamb's great, but not. There's a certain type
Or
of
like,
game.
I don't know, like, I guess my whole thing was Stray and why I wasn't interested in it, and I'm probably
You love kitties.
I might play it. I love kitties.
I love kitties.
But like, I guess to me, I'd be more interested in playing a game about being a cat rather than a game where you play as a cat. If that makes sense.
You just want a game where you're pooping in a litter box?
Well,
and
I don't know,
walking
like,
around?
because like I think it was put very well. I forget who said this. Somebody on a podcast I was listening to, where it's like, the idea was like, okay, the game is you're a cat, and they just put a bunch of game stuff around it instead of like designing the game around being a cat. They're like, okay, there's jumping and there's dodging, but you're just a cat. Instead of like, how can this be more cat focused? I don't know if that's true. I haven't played the game, but
It's pretty cat focused.
yeah,
Like, you can't fight anything 'cause
Feline
you're
focused?
a cat.
nice.
What's the cat song?
We're not singing the cat song.
Meow, 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 meow.
All right, anything more about Stray?
I liked it.
Good. This is another game that didn't come out this year, but I'm giving a special shout out to. I promise I'll talk about actual games that came out this year. Return to Monkey Island, which is a game I've only put about an hour and a half into.
Yeah.
But I really, really loved it because I love point and click adventure games. I'm a huge fan of Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle and like some of those early Telltale games before they got all narrative focused.
Yeah.
And I really loved it, but I stopped because I wanted to go and play. I haven't played the original Monkey Islands, like the Escape from Monkey Island and the Secret of Monkey Island. I actually bought Secret of Monkey Island on Steam, so I'm going to play that. But Return to Monkey Island, beautiful game, looks like a cartoon, hilarious writing, great
Is
jokes.
it better than Pajama Sam?
I mean, Pajama Sam's pretty good, man.
Or Putt Putt's something?
Putt Putt saves the zoo. Putt Putt does everything.
Putt Putt's be doing everything.
But yeah, great game. Ron Gilbert came back and just said, I'm going to drop a absolute throwback and love letter to the genre he sort of helped make famous in a way. It's a great game. Really want to play it or keep playing it. But I'm gonna beat Secret of Monkey Island and then go back to it because there's a lot of references to the old ones.
Do you want to spoil it like I've been doing?
I can't spoil it. I didn't finish it.
Oh, I'll spoil it for you and Google it now. Say it.
Don't. And
Sound a
yeah,
little bastard.
yeah. So you have so many more games.
You played this one with me.
We did.
This is The Quarry.
The Quarry. That's the last thing we streamed together. I think.
It is.
Great game.
Months ago. We need to
Months
stream
ago.
more.
Well,
I loved The Quarry.
so good.
I saw some pretty divisive takes on it. I think a lot of people have Until Dawn shoved in their cranium forever and nothing's going to hold up.
Until Dawn's really good.
Until Dawn is an absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah.
So this is from Supermassive Games, the same people that made Until Dawn. They've made the Dark Pictures Anthology most recently,
Right.
which are episodic games. And we've played 4 out of 5. We haven't played the newest one.
No.
But we're pretty super massive fans.
Nice.
Thanks.
I was like, is she gonna do the joke? I'm like, yeah, she is.
I did it. And we play all of their games.
Yeah.
Because I really like story-based, choice-based games. Like, that's my vibe.
Yeah.
Their art style is fantastic, really nicely animated, very minimal glitches. Some of them don't quite hit as good. There's some of the dark pictures I didn't quite like.
I don't think any of the dark pictures have hit.
Dan and Dan did not like very much.
Little Hope was okay.
Little Hope was okay.
I didn't play House of Ashes. You did.
I liked House of Ashes.
And I haven't played the new one. Is there another one?
There's another one. What's the other one?
Well, the one that just came out's
It's the one
The
where you're
Devil
in like
in-
a...
The Devil in
It's like
Me.
a jigsaw
yeah,
kind of
The
vibe.
Devil in Me.
Yes. There was another one, though.
I think it's just the 4. Well, the Quarry's the other one.
And then The Quarry isn't dark pictures. It's like their next Until Dawn. Like,
Well,
there's
yeah.
as much effort into Until Dawn is put into The Quarry.
Well, I was kind of shocked this game came out because I knew that they've been making the Dark Pictures games since for like a couple
I
years
think
now.
it's 2 teams.
And they just kind of I was like, I don't remember hearing anything about this game. They said it launched came out like they announced it, and a month later it came out.
No, they announced it.
Oh, did they?
Sooner.
Maybe I just missed
Yeah,
it.
it was kind of like not marketed very much though.
No, and I think why we love these games so much, and why maybe your mileage may vary, is that like they're obviously best played in a group setting.
Yeah, and I have a really good group of friends.
Yeah,
that
we all
play
get
with them.
together and we all get to
Have
pick a
drinks
character, and that is the way to play
We
these
did the
games.
movie mode.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like the Quarry a lot too. It was a great game.
good characters.
Yeah.
They were good at finding like a balance between ones that are annoying but still likable, with ones that are just straight up annoying and ones that are only likable. Like,
Yeah, well, it's just those
you
same
don't want anyone to die.
those horror movie tropes, right? There's always a jockey dummy and a hot popular
but like
girl
the
and a
jockey
nerdy
dummy
girl.
was nice.
Yeah,
Like, you
it
know what I
subverts,
mean?
and that they did that Until Dawn too with Mike, right?
Yeah.
It sort of subverts your expectations.
Like this time it was Jacob, who,
Yeah.
you know, you think he's going to be a douchebag, misogynistic kind of guy, but he actually gets his heart broken and he's a sad boy for most of the game. And you're like, oh, and you kind of care about him. He says dumb stuff because he's an idiot. But, and there's also tons of different options with the quarry. I think what really sucks about this type of game is people don't appreciate it when they only play it once and don't look any further, like don't peel back the onion to see how much effort they put in. There are so many endings. Like same with Until Dawn. Everyone can survive. Everyone can die. There's a secondary element to it. I won't spoil it. It can affect everyone.
I
It can
admire
affect
your
no
restraints.
one. Thank you. But like, and I've gone down like the rabbit hole of looking at the trees of decisions and stuff.
Yep.
This doesn't have, you know, I do love Detroit Becomes Human's trees to see exactly what like. That was the best part of Detroit Become Human, let's be real. Like, you could actually see what percentage of people picked everything, and it flowed down like a nice flow chart.
Sure.
This doesn't have that, but that's fine, doesn't need it. But I've, like, poked into what if Brenda Song's character did this? And you're like, oh my god, that would have completely changed it. Like, 2 acts later, then they wouldn't have been at the train yard, and this wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have... Like, there's so much effort put into that. I think there's something like 90 something endings, and like a lot of them are the same with like certain elements changed, but they still each have unique cutscenes to them. All those 90 endings have unique elements that require cutscenes and animations and voice acting and all this. They put a ton of effort in.
Absolutely.
And for 85 to 90% of players, all they do is start it and play through it once, if that. So all they see is like one storyline.
Sure. And yeah, I agree with you there. I think it's also cool the idea, like, there's people like us who like play through, like, you try to get the platinum, but
I tried, but it was
well, it's and it is grating to play through a game multiple times,
and when you know everything.
Exactly. But I think it's a cool game that you can revisit, like every Halloween, for example, would be fun. Like, you do a scary movie. Like, I love showing Until Dawn to people who have never played it.
Oh, it's so fun.
Like, still for my money, top 5 PS4 game exclusive.
2015.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a incredible game. Quarry, very, very good. Not quite as good as Until Dawn for me,
I was gonna say,
but
is
very,
it better
very
than
good.
Until Dawn? No, but it's really good.
I would probably, I'd love to run through it on stream again this year during Halloween. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm at that point now where it's a little bit ruined for me because I literally know everything.
Yeah, but like maybe 10 months from now, you might be more
maybe.
keen to go back.
I could just watch you play it.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game. I love great pick. I feel like that one sort of got lost in the shuffle,
People
but it was
didn't
really,
pick
really
it.
good.
I didn't hear it in like anyone's list on all the pods I was listening to.
No, it's good. It's very good. Leo Vader actually shouted it out.
I heard that on Max,
Yeah, he did shout it out.
And he also plays with a big group of friends, so maybe that's what it is.
That is the key, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Are we at the top 3 for everybody now? Is that where you're at?
Yep.
That was your 3? All right.
That was my 4.
Oh, right, because you move stuff around.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go into the 3s, because there's actually games that came out this year that I've played that I actually have something substantial to talk about. I know.
Good job.
I'm going to give a shout out. I feel like I'm the only person on the internet or anywhere who's going to shout out this game. I'm going to shout out Islets, which is a
The heck is that?
2D indie Metroidvania.
Islets?
Islets, yes. ISLETS, as in multiple islands.
Oh.
You saw me play this game. It's on the Switch. And it was during my little bout of unemployment.
Oh, it was cute.
Yeah, super cute, right? So it's essentially just a charming little... That's not what that is. Wow, I did
There's
look
like
that
a
up.
pancreatic disease called this too.
We're not talking about the pancreatic disease. We're talking about the lovely Nintendo... It's on Steam and Xbox as well. I played a Nintendo Switch. Indie Metroidvania. You play as this cute little mouse.
Capybara?
No, he's a mouse.
Huh.
They call him a mouse. He doesn't really look like a mouse, but he is a mouse. And yeah, it's Metroidvania. You jump, you double jump, you bounce off walls, you explore, you make the map bigger, you get more abilities to make... it's nothing new in that sense, but it's just so well-crafted, well-designed, really cute story, really endearing characters I really liked. It's all very... They all have little beep, 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 beep voices and stuff.
Like
It's very, very sweet.
That tickles my brain.
Great soundtrack. I really liked how... So, like, the idea is there's 5 scattered islands, and you have to... unlock a core on each one that brings them together. So you have sort of like one mini map, and then you unlock another island, hit their chord. They come together to create a new map that's sort of combining both maps you had. As you're unlocking more islands, you unlock more maps, and the map changes. Like connecting one island opens up a tunnel that wasn't there before, so you have a new access point, new places to explore.
Shit.
Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, I feel like nobody played this game. It's made by like one person, two people, I think.
Aw.
And like the guy, it's actually really sweet. Like the composer posted the whole soundtrack on YouTube. It has like 4,000 views. Like nobody's talking about it. It's a great game. We're gonna put footage here in the middle for you guys to check out. I put on my list. Everyone's like, "What's Islets? What's Islets?" It's really, really good. Again, it's not like a groundbreaking Metroidvania. It's not Hollow Knight level. It's not Symphony of the Night, but it's really, really well made. I really enjoyed it. Maybe it was the time I played it.
Screenshots look adorable.
It's really sweet. I think everyone should check it out. It's like $20 on the eShop and on Steam.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on sale all the time. Check it out. Really cool game. I can't really say much. Like it's not that groundbreaking. It's just a really well made Metroidvania that I really, really dug. So check it out. Islets.
Cool.
Really good game.
Love that.
Yeah.
Was that your 3 or just a mention?
That's a 3.
Oh.
It's the third game, top 3 of the game here.
Gotcha.
It's your turn.
Oh, well, I'd love to talk about my next one. It's really good.
Okay.
So I had it on 8 actually, like a week ago when I tweeted my list.
Right.
But then I played more, and now it's my 3.
Oh wow.
I love it.
I think I don't know what it is, but please.
It's Pentiment.
Pentiment.
Yeah.
This game looks awesome.
It's awesome. So it's from Obsidian.
Yes.
It's an adventure game. It's
adventure puzzle game. Would you say?
Click.
Point and click puzzle game.
Adventure game.
Yeah.
And you are this guy named Andreas Mahler, and it takes place in I think the 1400s. You're in a city called Tassing, which is a real place. I think in Germany, and you are there, and you work as a scriptographer, which is someone back before the printing press was invented. Although this is the era where the printing press is getting invented. Mm-hmm. I wrote my thesis on this. This is probably why I'm such a huge
you're such
nerd.
A nerd for it.
I'm such a nerd. So back when I was in my undergrad, I wrote my thesis on when there was no access to medical texts. And then the printing press was getting invented. Like there were certain artists that were really prolific, and they grave robbed and cut open bodies, and then they were such good artists they could draw things perfectly as if it was a picture.
Yep.
And it revolutionized medicine because it's essentially like it's like if someone sent you a text and said turn left, turn right, and then go up the street versus Google Maps. Like you know what I mean? Like they changed the game. So I think that type of time is really interesting. This isn't about medicine, this game. It's like it dabbles in medicine, but it's all about Andreas, and you choose his backstory, you choose what cities he's been to before, and you can choose like, does he know a little Italian? Does he know a little French? Does he know a little Latin? And then that affects, like, sometimes someone will talk to you and you like really want to talk to them, but they only know Latin. If you didn't choose the Latin, you can't talk to them. You're like, oh, like I can't speak with you properly. Oh well.
Yeah.
But that guy might have told you the juiciest tidbit, and the whole premise is, well, at least the first act. It's not a spoiler. It happens very quickly. There's a murder that happens in Tassing. So
spoiler.
You work in the abbot. There's a lot, and this is accurate. There's a lot of dispute between the Christian peasants and the much more wealthy abbot house. And during this time is when they were implementing laws that essentially said, like, before that, there was really pagan rituals. Like, everyone had a right to whatever they could find in the forest.
Yep.
You could, you know, when you grew your wheat, it was your wheat, and you took it in, and you ate it, or you traded it, and it was very much, you know, basic in terms of trading and everything. But, of course, when the Christian church kind of started taking over those areas of Europe, taxes got implemented. They weren't allowed to go into the woods to scavenge for things anymore. This made everybody really pissed off. Even though they were very Christian people, they were pissed off at like the abbots and like the people who resided in those abbots very comfortably. So there's a lot of bad blood between the abbot and the people.
I'm sorry.
I'm so into it.
None of this is about the game, though. What you're saying?
I know, it's just the history of it.
Okay, and which is great.
I love it.
I know, that's awesome, and it seems I've watched you play it. It seems awesome.
The art style is very cool. It's 2D flat. It's like a book. So when you go to a new area of the map, it turns a page like a book.
Very cool. Very cool.
When you talk to people, if they're more simple, they'll have very simple script, and you can hear the scribbles. And there's one guy in town who is a printmaker, and his text comes out like a printmaker's print, and the sound sounds like the printing press. So that's like, there's like little details like that.
Sure.
And you can influence people. If you get really friendly with someone, they could help you out later. If you're not friendly with certain people later on, it can come back to bite you.
Yeah.
You can suggest who you think killed the person, and it can come back. You could get it wrong, and then it's just like you're just like, oops, I just condemned that person to death. My bad.
So like lots of branching paths, lots of possible
Tons.
solutions.
And I'm not Googling anything.
Nor should you,
I didn't,
obviously.
because I just wanted to go through. But
yeah,
I'm excited to see. I'm not quite done yet, so it might be even higher. Like honestly, if I finish, I've been trying to finish it this week.
Sure.
But I would imagine there's tons of ways to do it, because
yeah.
I failed on a ton of persuasions. Like I was like, hey, you want to tell me about this? And then it shows you everything you've done that's pissed them off or made them happy, and it'll have little indicators that that was good or that was bad. And then it'll either persuade them and they'll say, oh, fine, Andreas, I'll tell you, or I'll help you. And if you fail, they're like, screw off, and they just walk away, and you're like, damn it, I really needed that info. And if you don't have that info, you might not know who murdered somebody or not know a key element of the story. And it's just super. I love history of science. That's one of my degrees is in history of science, and it's just for me. Like it feels like it was made.
It's a
for
game for nerds.
It's a game for reading nerds.
Yeah, it's a game for nerds.
Yeah,
I'm excited to play it too. I love
You'll
Obsidian.
love it.
I know. I can't wait. I've been trying to like not pay attention because I don't want it to be spoiled for me. So, but it looks great. Definitely gonna check it on Game Pass as well.
Amazing. It's on Game Pass?
Shoutouts to Game Pass, eh? Just like incredible service.
I know.
Played so many games this year because of Game Pass. It's awesome.
It's dangerous to have so many things in one place, but goddamn is it.
Yeah, I know. It can be daunting, but yeah, shout out to Game Pass. A lot of games that I have like 9 games I even started downloaded from Game Pass.
Played Pentiment. I feel like no one. It's on people's list for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like people don't talk about it.
It sort of came out late in the year, so I feel like it might be getting overlooked. It sort of came out like I think it came out the same week as like God of War Ragnarok.
I can also see how it wouldn't be a lot of people's cup of tea.
But no, it's cool. It's cool. Like this is like now that Microsoft owns Obsidian and Obsidian gets to make these kinds of games. Like that's really cool. Like keep making cool stuff like this. This is like the writer of this
Fantastic
game
writing.
is also the writer of like Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah,
so
no,
very
I can
cool.
like Night in the Woods is like my favorite writing. This is up there with it.
Nice.
Like it's amazingly like you look at Horizon Forbidden West and then look at this. Like this has writing like 8,000,000% better than Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
Which is like
Horizon Forbidden West, bad game. Pentiment, good game.
You can't fight dinosaurs. So
true. Yet. Yes. Cool, Pentiment. Excited to play it.
Sorry, I went on a really big.
You did. I had to stop you because you're like, I'm just gonna give the entire history.
I was going a bit crazy. Thank you for roping me in.
We're doing this year. The new podcast. We rope people in.
I'll stop you when you talk about Elden Ring.
I'm very brief. I think I've been very brief with my answers. Okay, number 2 game for me this year. This was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, Elden Ring's number 1. We'll talk about that in a bit. But this game came dangerously close because the more I played it and the more I've thought about it, the more I love it. And it's Immortality.
Oh.
Which is a...
They're going to say something else.
What?
Well, my number 2.
We'll get to
in a second. Oh.
I mean, not
sorry.
God, no. I like that game too.
God, no.
We'll talk about it when you talk about it. But... yeah, this is a game I downloaded on a whim.
I've heard a lot of people talking about
it. On
it.
Game Pass. Again, shoutouts to Game Pass.
What is up with Game Pass?
It's awesome. It's the best. It's hard to describe Immortality without saying just go play it.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, for God's sakes. You can play it on Netflix.
What?
Yeah, it's cool. You play it
That's
with your
hilarious.
Phone. But essentially, it's a game you are playing the role sort of a footage archiver, and you're searching through these 3 lost films by a disappeared actress, Marissa Marcel, and you're watching these clips, and you sort of click on the clip, and it takes you to a different clip, and you're going through all these clips, and it's all kind of just like, okay, you're trying to find some clue, and then
the shit hit the fan.
I don't want to spoil it because everyone please play Immortality. I'm gonna look directly at the camera. Please play Immortality. It's so good, and yeah, to say you sort of start. Things get spooky, things get weird, things also get profoundly beautiful and sad. Again, if you're not going to play this game, please go watch Jacob Geller's video on Immortality. It pretty much summarizes exactly why I love it.
You love him.
I do. He's great. Shout out to Jacob Geller. Great YouTuber. Great guy. But yeah, Immortality is just so good. It's really hard to talk about, and anyone who's played this game will tell you the same thing. But what you discover, and you can play this game. I did it in 2 sittings. You could probably do it in 1. I would recommend doing it in 1 if you can.
Yeah.
Like sit down.
How long is it?
It's like 6 hours.
Okay.
But like sit down on a Saturday night, wrap yourself in a blanket, pour yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and really just submerge yourself in it because it has so much to offer. And it's a beautiful, beautiful game. And the more I thought about it, the more it stuck with me. It has maybe my favorite moment of gaming this year.
Yeah.
Which I can't talk about without explicitly spoiling
That's
it.
fair.
But yeah, please play Immortality. It's so goddamn good. Sam Barlow, creator of Her Story and Telling Lies, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Just great visionary.
Nice.
I forget, her name escapes me, but the actress who played Marissa Marcel, Marion.
People thought she was gonna win. Like,
she should have won, and don't get me wrong, Christopher Judge, great guy. Way too long of an accepted speech there, Chris. Thanks for the Steam Deck. But she was robbed, and I will die on this hill. What?
You said that so passionately. You're like, and she was robbed.
She was. She was absolutely robbed.
For some reason.
Maiden Gage, I want to say her name is.
I'm gonna Google it.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. Sure. Immortality, actress. Maiden Gage. Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, anyway, play Immortality. It fucking rules. So good. It's on Netflix. What are you doing? You're probably watching Love Island. Go play Immortality instead on Netflix.
Rude.
Yeah. I love that. I love Love Island.
Nice.
All right. Number 2 for you?
Okay, so I'm embarrassed of my
Don't be embarrassed.
2.
I'm embarrassed too, but don't be embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed, but if I want to be truly honest and speak my truth, Overwatch 2
That's not embarrassing.
2. It is, because people donkey dunk
Well,
on
rightly
this.
so, they dunk on
And
it.
super fair, I'm not even mad.
Rightly so.
For those of you who are not involved with Overwatch things, it's just a mess. It is so it's become a little... They just are selling skins now. That's
for
the
like
purpose.
$20.
Yeah, so it became free to play. Cool, love that. More people can play.
Yeah.
And like, yes, the cosmetic stuff doesn't affect me because I'm not gonna ever buy cosmetics. I'm never going to.
Well, we have them all.
I've been playing since
Launch
in May 2016. I literally played the day it came out.
Yep.
Overwatch means a lot to me. I play it all the time. I find it it's one of my relaxing games, to be honest. Like, I just find
absolutely.
it very relaxing.
We play it together almost every day.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
And I totally get people's qualms with it. It feels a little grimy these days. Like, it just very much feels like a money machine.
Blizzard in general feels a little grimy these days.
Blizzard's insanely problematic. I feel gross about that. And it's just tough to love something and have all these things going wrong with it.
Sure.
Like, that's just hard. And that's kind of why I'm embarrassed about it. But, like, I play it so much.
And you have fun.
And I have fun.
That's all that matters.
Yes, but we still have to be mindful of the shitty things that surround
100%.
the media we consume.
Absolutely.
And as someone who is a woman in the game space who's had issues with men in the game space also, I really resonate with all the problems that Blizzard has, or the women of Blizzard have. And it's just really frustrating that men have made it so I can't enjoy this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they did this, and they messed it up, and they make me feel guilty about a thing that I used to be really passionate about.
And this is and wonderfully said, elegantly said. And this is not to diminish anything of what you just said at all. No, I'm being 100% serious because even if none of that was true, which all of it is, Overwatch 2 would still be fucking annoying because it's a grindy pay to win. Not pay to win. It's
not pay to win.
But like, it's a mess, right? Like, Overwatch 1 and like the whole thing is like Overwatch 2, right? That trailer came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're adding PvE. It's not here yet. It's like, maybe this year? Who knows? We don't know when it's coming. So they basically just, they turned 6v6 into 5v5. Not a bad change.
I like that change.
Good change, I think.
New maps are cool except for push.
But see, like, you play it and they're still missing like 7 old maps that aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you took my game, you slapped a 2 on it, you took content out. You're giving me new content, which, it used to be if you played Overwatch, if you got a level, you got a loot box, which would have a random chance to give you a skin. But at least it was like, I didn't spend a dime on Overwatch in years, and I got pretty much everything because I played all the time.
Yeah. I have a legendary skin for everyone. I'm fine.
Absolutely.
I have like 6 for everyone.
Now I'm like, right now in the Overwatch store, at the time of this recording, there's a sick Reinhardt skin. He's a Minotaur. Looks awesome. $20.
The little one's sick.
$20.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Blizzard.
No way.
I'm not doing it.
I'm never buying one.
No, and like,
People get bullied in chat for wearing.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they see you wearing a skin, they're like, you whale, you bought it.
That's another thing I didn't even touch on. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
it's Overwatch 1 with skins that cost money.
And
there are changes that change, and you know why I like it? Because my friends are playing it again. It reminds me of 2016 when I was 22 years old, and I had more free time and I had more fun. Like it's sad that that Overwatch is nostalgic for me now. It's not even that old,
and it's like,
but it low key is.
The thing you're saying, it's like it's true. Like when you're playing and there's a lot of frustrating things when you're playing Overwatch because like
the misogyny.
Well, just I'm talking from a gameplay perspective, but yes, absolutely that.
Yeah. Sometimes
it just sucks because you get rolled, but like there are moments like
they have really a lot of fun.
Like there's moments where I play Overwatch and I'm like, I've never felt so satisfied in a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
When I hit a perfect ultimate, when I make a great play, when me and you communicate in such a way where we kill the whole team.
Yeah.
Feels awesome.
Yeah.
I hope that 2023, and you know what, this last season was better than season 1 in terms of like battle pass rewards. I hope they keep building to something better. I hope Blizzard has a better 2023 ahead because like Diablo 4 is coming out and I'm looking forward to it, but it's also gonna have a battle pass. I'm like, oh my god, I hope that Blizzard is on the up and up. There have been some changes in that company that seem to be for the better, hopefully. So, but yeah, Overwatch 2 is a great game mired in a bunch of nonsense.
And I totally get why people are like dunking on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm embarrassed to say that I liked it a lot.
You just gotta put it at 10 and not 2.
But I'm being honest.
I know. Like, you're not as person.
I have more fun with it than other games.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's so much potential
in
that world, right? Like, you look at something like Arcane or that Cyberpunk show that came out. Like, where's my Overwatch Netflix show?
Oh my god, it'd be amazing.
Like, the cutscenes are still great. They make me cry. They're so good. Yeah. Like, the character in the world are so incredible. And they're just like, I wish Blizzard knew what they had, and they just made...
That Arcane show's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not like I was gonna cry. I just love that I know everything about Overwatch.
Yeah.
Every voice line, every skin, every emote, every like little nuance to the meta. Like I covered Overwatch back when I was still working in games journalism. That was like my beat.
Yep.
I knew everything about it. I covered the Overwatch League. I knew who the best players were. I knew everything about the game. When there was a slight tweak to Roadhog, I would write like a long post about how it's going to affect the meta. Like I knew everything. And that kind of shit stays with you.
Yep.
And it's hard to pick up like a new shooter and someone's like I was trying to play Valorant with some of our friends and I'm so bad and they're all so good and they're saying things like they're like hallway to lamps, Haley, go to lamps. And I'm just like, ah! Like I just don't know, but it's so like comfy to go to Overwatch and someone yells at me, I naded, and I'm like, I got you, and like you just know exactly what to do. Like
sure.
I can't find that anywhere else.
I've been trying to fill that multiplayer hole in my heart for a lot of years, and I've tried Halo, I've tried Apex, I re-downloaded Fortnite. I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
I'm intrigued. I low-key want to play Fortnite.
But like Fortnite's a great comparison to Overwatch too, because they had that no build, they had that update this year that essentially just made the game more of a sequel than Overwatch 2 is, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, Overwatch 2, good game. We're kind of dunking on it, so we'll move on. But
I feel like we should.
We did. We give it its props. 2? We give it its props. We critiqued it. Hopefully, looking at a better 2023. I'm probably gonna play it after we're done recording this. So, what do I know? Okay. Well, now it's time for my number one, which, unsurprising no one, is Elden Ring.
Was God of War not even on your radar?
I barely played it.
I didn't put it on mine because I barely played it.
So like everyone's like, "Where's God of War Ragnarok?" I put 6 hours in. I'm gonna finish it.
I am gonna finish it too. I just got busy.
Other things. I'm playing Persona 5 Royal. It takes a lot of my time.
I just started Pentiment. I was like, ah!
I will play God of War Ragnarok. The 6 hours I played were really good.
It would be on this list if I played it more.
I put 6 hours in. I put 600 hours into Elden Ring this year.
Oh my god!
Across 3 consoles. So I'm a lunatic.
I came into the living room and he was like, "Oh, my last trophy," and I was like, "You've gotten the platinum. What are you talking about?" And you just booted up we have a PS5 and a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
You're just getting it on PS4 for vibes.
Yeah, I have 2 platinums for Elden Ring.
What does that do?
Yeah, I get a lot of bitches.
What's the dopamine effect for you with that? Because you clearly get a shit ton of dopamine from this.
It's not so much a dopamine. It's just more like I like.
Sure.
Can I just talk about why I like Elden Ring? I give you lots of time to talk about Overwatch. Can I talk about my game?
I get dopamine from talking about olden times in the printing press.
Because, to be quite honest, I was a little worried about Elden Ring before it came out. Obviously, I was really excited, highly anticipated. You know, it was announced years ago, and it's finally coming out. It's an open world. And the game is essentially open world Dark Souls 4, which is awesome. But I famously dunk on open world games, don't love them. I don't like a map filled with doodads. I don't like a bunch of stuff being like, hey, go here, hey, go here. But Elden Ring doesn't do any of that, which is why I love it. You literally walk out and they go, there's like one guy you can talk to who's like, maybe you should go that way. But like, you don't have to. So it's not like Breath of the Wild in that way or the original Zelda. It's like, go wherever you want. And yeah, that first playthrough of Elden Ring is some of the best gaming I've ever had in my life.
You were so happy.
I was immersed in it, you know, and when I play these Souls games, a lot of people are like, let's all hop in Discord and co-op it together. I'm like, no, not for me.
I played with a few of them.
Yeah, and that's
fun.
Super valid way to play it. For me, I like going in, I don't read anything, I don't look up anything, I just go.
Get a 6-pack.
I don't talk to anybody, I just want to experience the game. And it surpassed my expectations in ways that I didn't even think, like, expectations I even had.
Yeah.
With Elden Ring. I think some of the best bosses that FromSoft's ever designed, some of the worst ones too, don't get me wrong.
Because there's so many.
There's so many. And the game has issues, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend it's a perfect game. There's a lot of bloat. There's a bunch of dungeons that have a bunch of nothing in them. Yeah. But none of that matters on your first playthrough because there's so much to explore. Like, I missed 3 giant areas my first playthrough. Like, I was talking, when I finally finished it, I talked to my brother and people. They're like, oh, did you not go to that giant cave? I was like, no, there's a whole, like, I missed endings. I missed stuff that I didn't even know was there.
I remember I was in, like, the hub area. And I rolled down a hallway and landed in a pit, and there was a guy to fight, and you're like, where the heck is that?
Never did that.
Those
Never.
were my first 2 hours of the game.
So I think it speaks a lot to Elden Ring how much it was in the cultural zeitgeist this year. Like, people who don't give a shit about Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Sekiro are like, I'll stream it and I'll love it, and it's everywhere. It's you know, you don't need to hear me talk about it. I've talked about it. Everyone knows how good Elden Ring is.
I'll stop you when you stop me with Pentiment. Don't worry.
But
all your points are still good.
It's a great game. It's it doesn't hold up on repeat playthroughs because how could it? Because once you know where to go and where everything is, it doesn't.
It's like the quarry.
That's just like open world games. Like, well, I know where that sword I want is, so why would I go to this? I don't have to go to that part of the map.
But you like that kind of aspect too. The mastering of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just when it's an open world game, the bloat kind of like I can run through Dark Souls 1 in like 3 hours.
That's crazy.
You know, if I know exactly what to do.
Would it take me like 16?
It's like 60.
Was it that long?
Oh yeah. Just fine. But yeah, Elden Ring really good. It's my game. It's my game of the year.
What did we expect?
Immortality came really close. I will say that.
Really?
Came very, very close.
Way.
It did.
That's crazy.
It was right there, and I thought of, even today, I was thinking about it, I'm like, did I like Immortality more? The answer is no. There's moments in Immortality. The moment in Immortality that stuck out to me the most was better than anything in Elden Ring.
That might be your favorite moment.
That's a different conversation, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our sort of quicker. That was more of a Game of the Year episode than Hotline Miami episode, but that was fun.
I still have my Game of the Year.
Oh, you still have one?
Yeah.
I was not Overwatch 2?
No, it was my second.
Oh, right. Sorry, go on.
I was embarrassed.
You don't care. Horizon Forbidden West DLC hasn't come out yet.
That's my Game of the Year. The unreleased DLC for my number 5 game.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, it should be. My Game of the Year is Call to the Lamb.
Nice.
Loved it.
Love it. Tell me about
it's so good. Well, I know people probably know a lot about it because it was also up there for Best Indie and stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool. Stray won,
very cool Twitch integration and stuff.
That I need to talk about that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, it's just a really cute little roguelite. You are this adorable little lamb, and the gameplay is split between going out and doing runs and getting resources and fighting things and getting more powerful, and then coming back to your little town, and you are a cult leader, and all your little followers are these adorable little animals. They have a short lifespan. They only live like 15 days in game. Mm-hmm. So you kind of use them, and they grow food. They worship you to upgrade your stuff. There's a bunch of tiered systems to not only improve your cult, but yourself and your abilities and your weapons, and there's like a ton of really satisfying just like tier stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cute art style. So unique. Breath of fresh air. I ordered the vinyl and a bunch of merch. I rarely order merch, but I ordered a bunch of Cult of the Lamb merch. I actually messaged them the other day because I ordered it in September. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't remember if it was like
shipping next year kind of deal.
Yeah, and I was like, hi. I was like, I'm really excited. I just want to check. They're like, it's Q1 2023 is when it's coming. I was like, yay. He's like, yay. He like wrote back all excited for me. I was like, I love this game. They even have cute people working in their merch department.
Nice.
But yeah, I think it had a great balance between fighting and coming back and making your cult cozy. Like, I spent a ton of hours laying out my cult and making new buildings, doing the tier trees for those, and kind of expediting that process so I could have a shit ton of cult people. And then they just self-manage themselves, because I had a farm where they could grow food. I had all their beds maxed out, so they woke up every morning super happy. They all went and prayed to me in the church, and they loved me. And I set it up so that, you know, once they got old, they got sacrificed, but they all loved it. See, like, I made it so that
Why being so weird about it?
Because I killed old little animals.
That's fine. That's the point of the
messed
game.
Up. But I know. Being a little bit weird. But so
I'm different.
I
kill animals.
But you can set up these like decisions where you can choose whether they're scared of death, so that they work really hard to avoid being killed by you, or they like look forward to death and they're like, oh, please kill me, and they get like, excited about it. So I set up a situation where like old people were really excited to die, because as soon as they get old, they can't work. They're just a resource drain, which is super sad to think about. But I just would be like, and just sacrifice, and everyone would be so happy, and it worked out really well. But the Twitch integration stuff's really cool too. So like, I played it on Twitch quite a bit, and your viewers can become your Twitch or become your cult characters. And so instead of having a little random name, it'll have their Twitch handle. And they can't control it once in the game, but they can choose what it looks like. They can choose what animal they're going to be. And what color they are and what little shirt they have on. And then once they're in there, it's just like really fun to like either, you know, like, I was playing and one of my listeners was like, oh, I want to be an otter. And he was an otter, but then he started like telling everyone that I'm not the true like god. So I had to put him in jail, and like that person watching was like, what the heck, take me out. And I'm like, go to jail. Like that stuff's really unique and really fun.
Very cool.
And then they can decide whether things are harder for you or easier for you, and they can do a vote and essentially be like, oh, the next time you do a trial, it's going to be way harder than normal because they all are stinky and mad at you. It's just great. I really recommend it.
Nice.
I put a ton of hours into it.
Yeah, it strikes a cool balance between like roguelike combat and
farming
simulator.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And in a year of like, there's a lot of farming simulators that came out this year. Probably too many.
Yeah.
But also a lot of cool, like, you know, cozy simulation games that, you know, that you didn't play. Cult of the Lamb's very, very cool. I still haven't played it. Really want to. I will at some point.
You'd love it.
I'm sure I would. I love roguelikes. But see, I'm more interested in the roguelike elements of it, and the combat didn't seem super in-depth.
No, it's pretty basic.
Which is fine. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
It's no Hades, but...
Yeah, maybe I'll pick it up on Switch. I heard the Switch, they patched it, and it's a little bit better now. So
I like it on PC.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you?
It looked really gorgeous on PC.
Nice.
Great art style. Yeah. And their Twitter's awesome. Like, they have really good Twitter.
Awesome. Always good to have good Twitter.
Go follow Cult of Lamb Twitter.
Yeah. Well, Haley, Game of the Year's done.
We did it.
Great episode.
We're going to have to play more games this year.
We are. I've already completed one game yesterday. It was from last year, but I completed it.
Do you want to say what it was?
Somerville. It was fine. It's not a secret or anything. It was fine.
Sable liked it.
Sable did like it.
There's a dog.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about lots of games this year that are coming out. I was hoping to get some more time, but there's already like a game looking forward to coming out next week. So,
what's that?
Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh.
Awesome.
Not for me.
No, but that's what the show's all about. So before we go, we'll just do a quick thank you so much for being so patient with us, and we're excited to be making content more frequently. But that all depends on what you guys want to see. So if you would be so kind, please leave us a comment. Please please subscribe, please listen to us on your favorite podcast feed, because we, you know, if there's a really cool news story, hey, you guys should talk about this. I'd like to hear your opinions on, I don't know, what's coming out this year. The Dead Space remake. We'll be like, well, maybe we'll pick it up. People want to hear us talk about it. We want to make the show more viewer focused. So please, again, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. We thank you for being so patient, and we hope you enjoy the new direction the show is going to go in. But again, those long form analysis will be coming back Probably Tears of the Kingdom will be the first one, depending
Yeah.
on when it comes out. Hopefully early this year.
Yeah.
Maybe May. Hopefully, they said early, first half of 2023. So, and I do want to give a quick shout out to some podcasts you can listen to that we've been on in sort of the meantime. That if you wanted to hear more of us, some of them are kind of old now, but we were both on a couple episodes of Draft Punks. You were on 2 episodes of Draft Punks. I was on one about Stephen King novels. That was a lot of fun. What were your topics again?
I was on Wholesome Games.
Yes.
That was really fun.
Very fun.
I ended up downloading a shit ton of games on my Switch and playing them in bed after
Nice.
that.
That's awesome.
I finally played a short hike.
Great game.
I've always wanted to play a short hike, and I finally played it.
Nice.
And the other episodes out of my brain, I don't know why.
What do you do for a living?
It was a while ago. Law. Oh, was that the next most recent?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was after. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the best laws. So like I did Brannigan's Law.
Don't spoil it. What is wrong with you?
I'll just do one. Brannigan's Law.
Oh my God.
Hard and fast.
You're impossible.
I like to.
So yeah, check out Draft Punks on. Look, you can look us up on their podcast feed. You can find the episodes with us.
And I was on Friendly Fire.
Which Friendly Fire show though?
Gotta rank 'em all.
Gotta rank 'em all, baby. We were
Maybe.
both on Gotta Rank 'em all.
They're getting close to the end of all their Pokemon.
Yeah, shout out to Friendly Fire Games. They had their own podcast
awesome.
relaunch this year. So check out their shows. Great guys, Chris, Ryan, Tom, and Tyler, who do great shows. We were on the one about Pokemon called Gotta Rank 'em all. So check it out.
They're ranking every single Pokemon.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're crazy. They're almost done though.
Except
Scarlet Violet.
Entire list right now.
Scarlet and Violet just dropped 100
Yeah.
on them. So
we ranked one from Scarlet and Violet.
don't spoil it.
I didn't say.
Good. All right. Well, Haley, if that's all, that was been really fun. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed doing it again, Haley. That was a blast.
Yeah, I know. It's been
forever. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and you can find our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Right here on YouTube. Check us on YouTube.
Yeah, we actually have a video format still for YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend less time editing, I'll be honest. I used to drop 12 hours an episode.
We're not going to do that. That's why the
With
show's
memes.
changing.
With memes and stuff. And I loved it, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I cannot do it.
All right. Now, Haley, you're gonna invent our brand new signature sign-off phrase, which we're going to come up with right now.
Oh.
Off the cuff. What is it?
I love games, I love you.
We'll workshop it. That was pretty.
Okay, what's yours off the cuff?
We don't know. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh, I love it too. I love that.
The episode's
too.
done.